A Slice of the Community is made possible by the support of the First Horizon Foundation. Hello and welcome to another episode of Slice of the Community. I'm your host, Jerome Moore, and today we're live in the studio joined by audience with the 100 Kings of the 100 Black Men in Middle Tennessee. Now on stage, I'm joined by program manager, Jaleesa Maxwell, and sixth grader, Richard Garvin III. The third is important. We talked about that third. How y'all doing?
Good.
Doing good? Jaleesa, how you doing?
Yes, doing great. Happy to be here.
I'm doing good. So Richard told me backstage, I was like, what you getting into? I'm like, who your favorite, basketball players? Like, nah, I don't do sports. I was like, all right, well, what you do? I said, man, I do acting. I said, oh, okay. I said, who your favorite actor? He said, who'd you tell me?
Denzel
Washington.
Ooh, come on, Richard.
Then I asked you, what's your favorite movie? What did you say?
Gladiator.
Gladiator, the second one. I said, you seen the first one? What you say?
No.
You gotta see the second one, but see the first one, right? But thank you both, and just thank all of the 100 Kings and the program for being here. This is amazing. This is our first episode to where we have our youth to join us live and just be a part of the series. So this is a big deal. I'm excited about this.
I'm very excited.
Yeah, I'm a little nervous. You a little nervous?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all right. That's okay. That's okay. But I'm getting some of these questions into this interview, all right? And if you're a little nervous, that's okay. Jaleesa can just answer the questions for you. That's cool? Put her on the hot seat. You can tell me all her deep, darkest secrets and everything, too, okay? All right. But now, I appreciate you, Richard. One, just thank you for being brave to be a part of this, right? Because everybody can't do this, whether you're a young adult or you're an adult, right? And so thank you for being here. But there's a lot going on in the world today when we talk about youth in general, right? Especially young Black men. And so I'm just curious, when you think about the community, when you think about the world, what would you want to see change, or what would you make different?
I would want to see less violence.
Less violence. What do you mean by less violence?
Just like, less things that kids don't need to experience, like school shootings and stuff like that. How does that,
when you hear about school shootings, or some students your age have just recently been a part of a school shooting in Antioch High School right here, right, in Nashville, Tennessee. How do you wrestle with that? How do you unpack that as a sixth grader?
I usually talk about it with my parents and try to stay calm.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I think that's good advice we all can take. Just staying calm, and again, I think being a young person, right, Jaleesa, in this time and age is a little different, So I'm curious, how do you support the young men when they're going through situations like this, whether they experience it directly or indirectly?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things is creating a safe space for students so that they can express those feelings,
right,
express their confusion, express their anger, because all of those emotions are natural emotions that they have to learn to process. And so I think we as adults, the best thing we can do is provide and keep giving them communities to be a part of, places and people to connect to, so that they feel safe and that they can actually process and stay calm.
Yeah. So when you think about the future and what you want to achieve, what does that look like?
I want to be on Broadway.
You want to be on Broadway?
Come on.
Oh, okay. So you said Denzel is your favorite actor. You had told me that, right? So are you trying to accomplish, of course, to be on that tier of acting better? You want to do Broadway? You want to do movies? You want to do both?
Both.
Both. Okay. What's your ideal role as an actor?
Action, comedy.
You can play me. I think I need my own movie. You know what I'm saying? We kind of, we got similarities.
Just like comedy shows.
Comedy shows. Okay. You pretty funny?
Tell us a joke.
Put you on the spot. Tell a joke.
Tell a joke.
Right?
No. All right, fine.
You don't think so? But you can play comedy. If I gave you a script, you can make it happen. Okay.
No problem.
No problem. What is one of the favorite things you enjoy about being a part of the 100 Kings program?
Just always feeling like I belong, and it's just really fun, and glad I have this experience.
All right, well, look, let's give it up for this young man right here. Richard, appreciate you, man.
Good job, Richard.
Thank you, and now we bring it to the stage. What's up, brother? What's up? You know what I'm saying? You a little bigger, you a little tall. Man, he definitely told me, yeah, I do sports for sure. But we have Tyson Jones, 10th grader.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, man?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you for being a part of this, also being brave.
Thank you for having me.
No, so yeah. It look like you might dunk on me on stage or something. I don't know.
Show me what you got.
But no, man, I appreciate you. And did you want to piggyback off of anything that you heard Richard say before I get into talking with you?
No, not really. I think he really covered it.
Okay, yeah. All right, man. So let's talk about you and your impact and kind of where you see yourself contributing to community. You know, as a 10th grader, you know, you in high school. You know, what does that look like for you?
Contributing to the community, I go out. I'm in another organization called Jack and Jill.
Okay.
We go out for street cleanups. We do a lot of community service with Ronald McDonald House, stuff like that.
Okay. What has been I think the biggest impact of being a part of programs like that?
I think just like getting to see the community and the people come together to help other people in need.
Okay. Is it something you learned about yourself?
Yeah, that I really like to help people out. Like I like seeing the smile on their face afterwards.
Okay. Is that something you see yourself doing as professionally?
Yeah.
Like, so what does that look like? What
I want to be a dentist.
Oh,
or something
okay.
in the dental field.
All right.
Putting smiles on.
For real, putting smiles on people's face. So you got a dental school in mind?
No, but I'm looking at programs to get into.
Okay, you know we got a pretty amazing program right here at home. You know what that program is, right?
I think so, yeah.
What is it? I'm gonna test you right now.
Is it Meharry?
Oh yeah, of course.
And you remember they actually came out and did a dental program for our students this summer.
Oh wow.
Or
Did you
last
get the
No, I had missed that one.
Tyson.
I think I missed that day.
It's all right.
You know, Tyson, part of life is just showing up, man, just being there. You gotta be there, man. So this is the most important question I'm probably gonna give all night, okay?
All right.
You know, what is your favorite thing about Miss Jalisa for you? You know, or being a part of the program.
No pressure, Tyson.
I think just like the atmosphere she brings to 100 Kings. Whenever she walks into the room, everybody lights up. Hey, Miss Jalisa. Hey, Miss Jalisa. How y'all doing? And yeah, just like that.
Okay. Now, how does being a part of 100 Kings, you know, that family atmosphere, how does that pour back into family back at home for you?
I think it really helps bring people together, like bring me and my family together. I get to bond over them with stuff, like I talk to them in the car about what we did, or even at home with my dad, I talk about that.
Okay.
Different types of stuff that we did.
Okay, and then I know back in the green room we was talking about sports, and he was telling me how he, you know, do track and field. So my mind, I went straight to, oh, you do 400, 800, no. I do the field. Yeah. Now, what does that look like? Because you didn't break it down. What is the field? What are you doing the little thing?
Shot and disc.
Shot and disc. So you strong.
Yeah, I like to think that.
Okay. All right.
Stand on business.
So that means are you snatching people up too? And
Oh, I don't know about that.
yeah, okay, all right. I just want to test you. I just want to make sure that we wouldn't have no conflicts between me and you while we was up here. We was good. We
We're
straight.
good. We're
We
straight.
straight.
Yeah, I'll be ref.
You referee? No, we don't need no ref, because if it's a ref, that means something's happening.
You right.
You know, I don't want nothing
No
to happen,
facts.
because I think he can get me. Gotta be embarrassing on TV.
It's loud.
Man, is it anything that you want to say to other 10th graders or high schoolers about the importance of being in a program like 100 Kings or just mentorship?
Yeah, I would say having somebody that guides you, like a teacher or the black men that we get to come in to guide us, teach us things that some other people might not be able to know, or like some people might not already know. They give us like guidance and stuff that we might need, or that we will need when we grow up.
How important is that guidance to have?
It's very important. Like I said, some people don't have that, so I think it's very important.
Man, Tyson, I appreciate you. Man, everybody give it up for Tyson. Man, good job, man. Next, we're bringing up Langston McKnight to the stage. Everybody welcome Langston. Now, you know, I'm trying to be a great host, so I'm backstage. You know, I'm making sure everybody got all the jitters out, right? And Langston is back there, just on his phone. Jaleesa's asking, you don't need no music or nothing? He was like, nah, I'm cool.
Yeah.
And then he tells me, he's like, yeah, I've been on TV before. I said, oh. He said, I didn't speak, but I was on there. I said, all right, never mind. Never mind. We here. Man, how you doing, Langston?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. How you feeling? You looking
bit,
dapper, man, like what size shoes you up? You looking clean. I didn't tell you that, but I told you, you looking clean, though, with the socks and everything. Pan in on the socks.
Come on, do a little feet dance. Do a little feet dance. There you go.
Man, is there anything that you heard that you would like to, piggyback off of from Richard or from Tyson?
Maybe anything that I would piggyback off of.
See,
would
you
be-
said you see. See, it's a difference talking and just being on TV. See, I tried to tell you. You like, nah, I'm cool, and the lights hit you is different. But nah.
Yeah, the main thing I'd say to piggyback off of though would be of how Tyson said that it's always it's basically always good to have always to have a mentor in your life, because for me I didn't always have I have always had a mentor, but I never viewed it viewed them as a mentor, because I always felt like that I couldn't be nearly as vulnerable with them. Yeah. And so certain things like that would lead to me ending up being more quiet, or not, like I said, not seeing them as a mentor to me. So yeah.
I think what's good about mentors is they can help you overcome maybe some challenges, and even have conversations maybe with them that you maybe sometimes can't have with your parents or with your guardians. And so as a young man today, what are some challenges that you believe like being a part of maybe 100 Kings, or just having a mentor allow you to navigate and work through?
Honestly, the biggest help that I had from a mentor was really within my academics, because my academics were honestly one of the biggest struggles I've had throughout my high school career. And with that, it honestly, when I ended up getting an actual mentor and then also getting into the 100 Kings program, it helped me out both in terms of actually being able to understand the curricula that I'm learning, and then on top of that, it also even helped me with things with the ACT, for instance.
Yeah, man, academics is a big part of the 100 Kings program. Academically, how have you been able to grow being a part of a 100 Kings program?
Well, with that, I'm gonna be a little bit more vulnerable on this, but in my 9th and 10th grade years, I had a very terrible GPA, around maybe a 2.3, 2.4 maybe.
Yeah, you're not alone.
But last year, as in last year, 11th grade, I turned that around and got a 3.0 GPA. And then as of last semester of my 12th grade year, I turned that, I upped that and even surpassed my own expectations, because I was expecting myself to get around 3.2 or 3.4. Yeah. But I ended up getting a 3.6 unweighted and a 3.8 weighted GPA.
Congratulations, man. What motivates that excellence? What kept you going? What kept you pushing?
Honestly, when I finally got what I wanted in terms of goals, when I finally got my goals set straight into a straight path of where I want to be, I realized that I'm gonna have to work a lot harder and put in the effort, because that's the only way I'm gonna make it to what I want to do. Yeah.
For sure.
Man, what does it mean to be a black man to you today? If you had to describe your own definition, it can be whatever you believe that is.
Honestly?
Honestly. Yeah, we want honesty.
The thing I would say that would be me being a black man today would be, and I don't know what I'm trying to. It's kind of hard how I want to say it.
Just say it. Just let it come out, man. Yeah, just let it come.
The best way for me to explain it would be, I want to be able to surpass both stereotypes that we have as a young black man, and also be able to show not only other races, but even our own people within our own race, what we can really achieve, and what we can, and our true potential that we should really learn to tap into, and grow off of that.
I think that was a good definition. I think it was a solid definition. That was a solid definition. But let's give it up one more time for Langston. That was a good definition, man. Appreciate you. All right. Yeah. Next, we bring into the stage the executive director for 100 Black Men in Middle Tennessee, Mr. Andre Lee.
I thought we had some theme music.
Something you see that's some executive director stuff. You want your own theme music. That's a black man thing. You got
Superhero black man. You know what I'm saying?
so what's that theme music we need next time?
What more can I say? I'm gonna go Jay-Z.
Okay.
Let's go.
So hold on. I want to get something clear right now. This is the South, and East Coast is cool. But so is he number one to?
And I am super old school, and I'm not gonna throw age, but I mean, I started out with like KRS-One.
Okay.
And I just matriculated through, folks that I enjoy today, like Kendrick Lamar.
Okay. All right. So
J. Cole.
Okay. I'm finna say you just gonna leave the South out of here, we
No,
can end this real quick.
I'm big Outkast.
Okay. Okay.
Memphis. Stay
music
fly.
Okay.
We do this all day.
I'm trying to get an understanding of what you're imparting on a young man.
Oh yes.
But thank you for being here as well, and just thank both of you all for just being a part of an amazing program and pouring into our black youth, our black young men, that we understand that there's so many barriers that are just different. It's a different experience that they go through. And Andre, I'm gonna start with you with this question is, when you think about the 100 Kings, right? Mm-hmm. What are some of the things that make you proud when you see the young men coming in and then graduating from the program?
Yeah. So a big piece of it is them coming out of this shell, right? When we think about the pandemic, it is forced them. They've missed some years of being able to build that communication skill, build those interpersonal skills. And so when they first come in, you'll notice that they're all quiet. You go to lunchroom, go to the cafeteria, they're all at their table. They're all sitting at the table, they're all on their phone. But then the process of them starting to get to know each other and talk to each other, and the older students talking to the young folks, so that change, that awareness of who's coming to speak to them, the leaders within the community, becomes more and more evident as they get older. Yeah. And actually taking advantage of those individuals when they come here. Yeah. That's the biggest part I get excited about, seeing their confidence grow and really self-worth grow.
Jaleesa, being a program manager, y'all actually had a visit here at Nashville PBS, which was amazing, which led to this today. Give the people here, but also at home, a kind of scope of some of the programming that you all do for the 100 Kings.
Sure. Our program is robust. When Andre came on, we worked really hard to create a curriculum that is actually an 8-year curriculum. Mm-hmm. So as students matriculate through our program, they're constantly getting financial literacy every time, and Andre calls it kind of a toolbox. Yeah. So we're adding to that toolbox constantly, but we touch on Black history, financial literacy, professionalism, what life is like in middle school, high school, college, exposure is our biggest thing. And I think that is the coolest part of the program, how much students are exposed to corporate sponsors, just field trips, even sporting events. They get to see a perspective that typically wouldn't be offered to them.
Yeah, I think we got to be at the top of the list with exposure at this point.
For sure.
Because everybody just ain't doing live television stuff.
Right.
I'm just letting you know. Let's put that at the top of the list. I want to pivot back to you, Jaleesa, as a Black woman. Yeah. What makes you proud when you see these young Black men coming in and being able to pour to them? Because we understand the dynamic of just their togetherness and their wholeness, which is just important to see. And also not only Black men pointing to Black women, but Black women pointing to Black men as well, young men especially.
Yeah. I don't take my role lightly. Mm-hmm. I know that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I think it's really humbling to be able to touch so many students and families. And as a Black woman, I think being able to offer them a perspective of a Black woman. I feel like a lot of the Kings, if not all of them, know me pretty well. I'm pretty playful with them, but sometimes I have to check them. Like, hey, Black women are not like that, right? Not even Black women, women in general, So being able to steer them in the right direction and just offer a different perspective from somebody that they know is safe and wants the best for them, they're a lot more willing to listen and accept that.
Andre, it's a lot going on just with our youth today, as we talked about a little bit earlier, especially with Richard. How do you all pivot and respond to those things like violence or school shootings or anything that might be happening in the world that, again, may not touch them personally, but definitely could affect them, you know, in a different way?
Yeah, so there's a lot of different ways that we do it. I mean, the easiest one that we have is what we call King's Corner. Okay. It's something we open with every day. So we take attendance, the kids do the King's Creed, and then we have King's Corner. King's Corner is like a mini TED Talk. So it means anybody in the community can come in and feed our kids information. They can either talk about their career journey, they could talk about their passions, like they like playing pickleball now or going skiing in Denver, or an issue that's happened in the community that they want to get feedback from the kids. And so that allows that flexibility every session that we have. But then we also make sure we incorporate those throughout our training, because we're year-round and multi-year for these students. And so the goal was, starting with rising fifth graders, that they have a different experience. So by the time they graduate, that exposure, access, and resources has helped them to really pull together great personal and professional goals, right? She talked about the tool bill. I always equate it to Batman. You know, every episode or comic book, Batman always seems to have the right tool for the right time, right?
You need it, you know?
And that's all we do for the kids. We want them to have the right, they may never need it.
Right.
They may never face racism. They may never face, you know, some of the negative things they have. But if they do, at least they're conscious enough to be aware and know how to handle it. And that's where we come into play.
What is, and y'all can both piggyback off this answer, what does community come into play? Because I know y'all go out and visit different professional development opportunities, but you know, what if I don't have a young king, right? But I want to give back to support the 100 Black Men in Middle Tennessee, the 100 Kings program. What does that look like? Yeah.
So, you know, this is where we move into like church, time, talent, and treasure, right? We're the same thing. You know, we take everybody. Me and Jaleesa joke about this is a 1,000-piece puzzle that we try to pull together all the time. We're constantly reevaluating what we're doing, what's working, what's not working. And so bringing in the community, one, lets the students know that there's a lot of people that care about them. It may not look like them, right? You know, so that, and so when we talk about exposure, so exposure expands, right? So, but having the volunteers come in is critically important. What's so funny is I'm always telling parents, you guys can come in and do stuff too, you know, because a lot of them are executives or own their own business. Your kid may not think you do anything great, but the other kids might, you know.
Like, nah, we're going to drop them off. We
you
we
know.
won't do nothing.
You know, you know.
Take them.
Because you could, you know, it's funny because you could be Michael Jordan, and I'm sure his kid's going, but my coach told me how to do this. And he's like, but I'm Michael Jordan, right? So we get a lot of that. But what's great is, you know, we've got a great parent support group. We try to incorporate, recently we've been doing a lot more town halls. We try to do parent info sessions, and we're averaging about 125 parents that show up to that. So it lets us, and because of their experiences and what they're bringing to it, allows us to look at this different, not only from just the member perspective, but their perspective, and then bringing in these corporate partners. They need to see what their money is doing, right? And the more they see it, the more they typically give. But there's a need, and sometimes it's harder to sell that there's a need for Black men. If I talk about disabled vets or St. Jude, everybody's like, yeah, I got it. But everybody doesn't necessarily get why Black men still need help. And it's good when people are able to make that connection, because at the end of the day, you can't build community with just a few people in the community.
Yeah. What does the future look like? What does future programming look like? What does future support, future community look like for just not the 100 Kings, but just the entire 100 Black Men in Middle Tennessee in general?
Yeah.
Growth. I think the easiest term is growth. We are constantly getting calls and questions about how can I join the program? And so like Andre said, we are constantly reevaluating, hey, we brought these people in, did it work? Did they really connect with the kids, or was it not so great? So we want students to have a positive experience. So we're gonna constantly evaluate, see what works, keep what works, and then modify as needed.
If it's one thing, Andre, that you want to leave with the people here and that's watching at home, what would it be? You can do two. I give you two things. I give you two things.
Leave with the folks here.
Yeah.
You know, I think the main thing is to meet students where they are, and be open and receptive and listen. You know, we tend to get too wrapped up in everything that's going on, and we get busy and forget that time goes by, and we missed an opportunity to help a young person grow. I think for the young men, it's about understanding that they don't have to do this alone. It's not going about this journey alone is not an ingredient for success. You know, bring somebody in it, because when you bring somebody in it, now it's an adventure, and you both get to experience it together. And the other thing is, don't wait for somebody to find you. Find them. The thing is, and I tell college students all the time, find somebody, grab them, interview them, because adults love talking to students. It's when you graduate college, you become competition. So while you're a student, grab. I will be shocked if anybody ever says no. And I've been doing this for 25 years and tens of thousands of students across the United States and in other countries.
All right. Well,
Step up.
We're going to say the rest for Q&A. All right, let's give it up for them one more time. And thank you for watching another episode of A Slice of the Community. If you would like to continue the conversation with the 100 Kings and ask questions, please head over to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/@Nashville PBS. Appreciate y'all. All right, hey, we're here to continue the conversation on YouTube. Thanks for everybody that's streaming and watching. Again, give it up one more time for the 100 Kings that came through. How do y'all feel? Was it a good episode?
I feel good.
You feel good?
Yeah, I feel proud.
You feel proud?
Them,
Yes.
for sure. Yes.
Okay, all right. I feel proud too. We made it happen. That was the first time we did something like that to where it's multiple people coming on the show, so we made it happen.
We like to be trendsetters now, right?
We're trendsetters. Y'all the first of the first. Again, anybody, if y'all have a question, please come up to the mic. If not, I can continue talking. It's no problem. Is there anything, Jaleesa and Andre, that maybe y'all didn't get a chance to talk about or say that you want to touch on now?
Sure. I think one of my favorite parts of being involved in this program, a lot of times we look at impact, like, are they going to college? Are they doing this? But one of my favorite things, and it was my favorite when I was a teacher, to see the aha moments in students. When students are like, I think I want to do this. And then we expose them to that, and they're like, that's not at all what I want to do. Right. The aha of like finding that interest instead of pursuing college, going on, being in you're a professional environment, and you're like, this is not what I thought it was. Right. So that aha moment of you can find what you're passionate about, what is enjoyable for you, and you can make that a career. Right. Seeing that light bulb for students is one of my favorite parts about being involved with the 100 Kings.
And I think too, what's important about that is it's okay to, like, if you get into something and you say, hey, like, this isn't what I thought it was going to be. Like, and thinking about, like, it's okay to exit. and start over.
Yeah.
You know, and I think it takes a lot of bravery to do that as well.
Correct.
Seems like we have questions. So with the questions, you know, a lot of people like to come and give a soliloquy before they ask a question. And so I'm just going to ask you just to ask the question. All right?
Check.
If you want to say your name and everything too, that'll be perfect.
Good evening. My name is Elisa Jones. I am wondering, I know you mentioned corporate foundation giving, corporate giving. So how can the average person give, whether it's monthly contributions, how can the average person give to the program?
Yeah, absolutely. They can come to our website and they can do a one-time giving or a recurring gift on our website, for sure.
Caleb Russ, a 100 Kings member. You mentioned recently
yeah.
how a child from the 100 Kings can be impassioned by something that you taught them. What careers do many 100 Kings members pursue after they graduate from your program?
Everything. So we have students who decide to go the trade school route. So we have students who are in school for HVAC. We have students who are in medical school, going to law school, pursuing public policy. It is expansive because we offer so much and there's so many available interests. The career field that our students graduate and go to is a wide variety.
It's not necessarily just one.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Mr. Russ.
Why is this thing so tall? Hi, my name is Rafia Muhammad McCormick. I am a mother of a murdered child as well as a community advocate and victims advocate. And everything that I listened to today, it really made me feel like this is what we're talking about when we're talking about violence prevention. So I guess I have a two-part question. One, how do you reach your youth and bring those youth into the program, as far as boots on the ground or getting into some of these areas where people might not be aware of this type of work? And my second question is how do we scale this blueprint in other spaces?
That's a great one.
Yes.
So thank you for that question. So it does go back to partnerships. Honestly, 100 Kings have really never done recruitment out in the community since 2000. We had a couple iterations of the program before 100 Kings, before it launched, and those previous programs, they did go out to different areas. 100 Kings, we've really been fortunate enough to have parents that have supported and benefited and enjoyed this program and advocated for it, including our members and even corporate sponsors. So that's how we've gotten a lot of them. Now, what I do today is I actually partner with a lot of organizations. Rafa, that works in the juvenile system. I work with My Brother's Keeper, Brown Boys Read, and by default, they bring programming to us, we bring programming to them. And it's mutually beneficial because, like Brown Boys Read, they only go to fourth grade, and so they becomes a transition to us. And then that same organization has a leadership program, so when our students graduate high school, they can actually get into that leadership program in college. So parents, I often tell them, if you invite me out, I'm going to at least go and see if there's an opportunity for us to make a connection and bring students. You know, it's always hard because our goal, and a lot of our members will tell you, we're not trying to keep any young black male from joining our organization, and we're definitely not trying to kick any students out once they become a part of it. But thank you for the question.
Richard Garvin Jr. here. So my question is, like, when he mentioned the violence piece, and then you mentioned the Antioch situation, and there's a program happening Saturday. And so for people such as Richard who may have been impacted by that situation, such as his aunt used to work at Antioch High School, he has two cousins that graduated from Antioch High School. So with the program happening Saturday, do you have anything in place to possibly like support some of the students that may have been impacted by the situation?
Yeah, so that's a great question because we literally were talking about it. We plan to engage them in that conversation during the King's Corner to give an opportunity to share, ask questions. make any requests. So minimally, that's the first thing we do. We partner with other organizations. I like to think we're experts in some things, but other things we need other people that can do it better. And so, for example, domestic violence, we partner with YWCA. A men comes in and does bullying. So, so our goal is to continue to keep those things throughout our program. But in reference to this situation that's happened here, which definitely impacted me, because my fear is that this just becomes so much of the norm, and kids today, don't know how to process these things. I feel like they have difficulty communicating their concerns and fears, and it comes out in the wrong way most times. And so I think that's why programs like this become important.
Thank you.
Sir.
Hello, Dr.
Oh,
Lee.
hey, how are you? He's a teacher.
Hello, my name is Brandon Haskins. I enjoy working with you all, but I just have a question. You all haven't touched on it. How can I get my young king to be a part of 100 Kings?
Okay, good. I thought I was going to ask something that's going to get him fired. So
now give us, we want the real stuff.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you about Dr. Lee. No, I'm just kidding.
Our applications open twice a year. So we look at our year as trimesters. So we start April 15th is the next application opening. Applications will be open for 2 weeks. They are online on our website, and so you can apply just like that. And that means if you apply in April, that means you would start the program in the summer. And then after that, your next opportunity would be in July. July 15th through the end of July would be our next application cycle to start our program in the fall. So those are the 2 application windows. We don't accept students into the spring just because it's the last trimester. And we do want them to build the community and get, the understanding of what it is to be a part of this program.
And you mentioned something about summer. What happens during the summer? What is that like?
We actually, like our curriculum is a multi-year, year-round. So we are 5 weeks in the summer, Monday through Friday. Ooh, Lord. Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 3. So through that summer program, they're getting academic enrichment. We have a men's day that Jerome is probably going to be a part of this summer.
I guess I am. It's on the spot now.
You heard it here
I will
first.
be there. Yeah.
But we do a health and wellness day, gala preparation day, but it's a full-fledged program throughout the summer that continues to build through the fall and the spring.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. The one thing I want to share, though, is that we start accepting students when they finish their 4th grade year. So they come to us as rising 5th graders. Okay. And we stop taking students right before they get into their sophomore year in high school. Okay. And the reason for that is because you have to have so many years within the program, because our students qualify for scholarship support as a result of that. So that's the way that's set up. But during the spring, we do project-based competitions. Every cohort does something different. They're based on a 2-year curriculum. And during the summer, like you said, academic enrichment, Black history, arts and culture, field trips, career readiness, career exploration. And then in the fall, we focus on 2 of 4 subjects: professionalism, leadership, health and wellness, and financial literacy.
And it's free, correct?
Yes, it is free.
Sounds good.
You got to start off with that.
So let's go back to the other parent about how you donate. Because they ain't cheap. Anyway.
Hello, I want to talk to the 3 men.
Yes, please.
Do I need to take the mic over there?
No. You can, all 3 of them?
Yes.
Yeah,
all 3 of them.
Come on.
I have a couple of questions. Oftentimes when we talk about race, especially as we get older, you hear things like you're a race baiter and things of that nature. As young men that haven't gotten out into the world yet, how do you feel as Black men that America protects you, understands you, or do they even give a damn? And support you? You can answer that in 3 parts.
I guess I'll start. My name is Tyson Jones. I'm a rising junior at Stewart's Creek High School. And about your question, I think they do care about us to some extent. I feel like there's ways that they could definitely expand on it or actually really go deep dive into it. But I feel like, yes, they do to an extent.
Do you feel like they support you, or how do they support you? Do you see enough of it? Do you see enough examples, or every time you see something, coincidentally you see a movie that's it's negative, and you know you're not that way? So do you feel like they portray you in a negative way but want you to be something else?
Yes, I feel like they definitely at times can portray us in a negative way. Yes, I do.
What about you, young man?
I also believe they do support us to some degree, especially throughout history in terms of like president-wise, at least. Because I know with like Barack Obama, for instance, and Lyndon B. Johnson, if I'm not mistaken, they both had, those are notable ones that I can remember, but those are notable ones that had really big changes for us as not only just black people, but even for women and men, and on top of that. So, I mean, there's also those things there, and then, what was the question? I kind of forgot.
Today, do you think America supports you?
Now today, it's a bit harder to say that they support us now, especially considering who's our new president. And about him, I mean, as of, I think maybe yesterday, he apparently is trying to take away stuff for just your typical American student, like grants, like just typical funding and stuff to go to college for cheaper costs. And so, I mean, now obviously I know that's not necessarily pertaining towards just black people or young black males and females and stuff. It's just really, I think, in general, America really is no longer supporting the people, whether you're black, Hispanic, white, or just whatever you are. I don't think it really supports anyone but itself.
Okay. What can we do as black men to help support other black men?
Honestly, as black men to support other black men, I think what we could do is, I don't want to say necessarily rally together, but I want to say maybe more so stand up for ourselves a lot better than what we do nowadays, and also stop falling for very blatant or obvious. Now, obviously, not all of us, but a good portion, I will say, do fall for very blatant or obvious lies or deception in a way, whether it's through politics or economics or social work or just really anything. So I think just if we like come together as, not necessarily as one great big mind, because a hive mind wouldn't work well, but like throwing ideas from each individual person or each individual group for that matter, we could do a whole lot more, and even for that matter, even give ourselves, not only ourselves, but or ourselves as in young black men, but even older black men, young women, black women, and even older black women, all could give off a better image to what we really are, and show other people who we are and what we are and what we can have become.
Thank you. You have something to say?
You got it, okay? I think they care about us a little bit. I mean, we do have better privileges than we did, but it's still really tough and hard for all of us.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
And if I could just say one thing. Thank you, gentlemen. You know, 100 Black Men of Middle Tennessee was founded in 1991. The organization started in 1967. And our motto is, what they see is what they'll be. And so black men coming back to pour into young black men is hugely important. And I always tell men that say, you don't have to come in and facilitate. You don't have to be this grand speaker. Sometimes just a kid seeing somebody come in nice and nicely dressed and say, man, who is that dude? Man, I want to be like that. You know, I want to dress like that, whatever the case may be. But there's so many negative influences out there. Sometimes it just takes a little bit to nudge them in the right direction.
Hi, my name is Josh Wesley. Question is what are some of the ways in which you all handle young folks who may not have found the motivation or inspiration, or they're just not goal driven just yet? And so maybe that's causing them to slip in the academics, or they just don't really have a plan for their life or haven't thought that far. How do you all handle situations like that with some young folks?
Yeah. I was going to say, we do that every day. I mean, that's constantly in our mind. You know, as I mentioned earlier, we try to meet every student where they are. The more we're able to dig in and have one-on-one conversations. You know, I always tell parents, I say, you know, if I call you, it's not to say we're about to kick your kid out. It means now I want you to help us because we've already tried 10 or 15 different things to kind of get there. Again, we're not trying to kick kids out, and as I also tell them, I said, we don't see them as black boys. You know, that's what we share for everybody else. For them, we just see them as young boys. Growing up, experience the same thing a lot of other communities experience, and so we don't see them any differently. So our thing is to figure out what is the root concern, because we have students where their parents, like literally they're in the program, have gone to jail. Or we've had several young men, their parents, their father has passed. And, you know, so we just try to make sure, and sometimes we're very strategic, they don't know it. Sometimes we may see a student that's not talking with anybody, and we say, you know, we need to put Richard over there with him. You know, and assign them a seat next to that particular student. Or ask an older kid, hey, you know, for one day, don't sit with all your friends at the cafeteria. Go sit with the middle school table over here. So we just get creative with it, and it just depends on what's the situation. And the other misconception about 100 Black Men is that all our kids are underserved. You know, about 70-75% of our kids are underserved. Some do go to Innsworth and Brentwood Academy and all that good stuff. But here's my thought process. I still say that the young black kid gets pulled over in a Tesla is going to have a harder time explaining why he's got in that car than the Honda that somebody else is driving, right? Mm-hmm. And the reality is, you know, again, just being conscious, you know, for those that have young black boys or even our young black daughters, because I got 2 daughters, even though I claim 6 on my taxes. You know, when we teach them to drive, we say, if you get pulled over, here are the 9 things you need to do, right? Roll down your window, you know, turn the radio down, but what is the social consciousness you need to have when you're selling a house, right? Most of y'all as adults know, take down all your black photos, take all down your black art, right? If you want to get a good valuation on your house. What do you have to keep in mind when you're interviewing? What do you need to keep in mind when you're applying for a grant, starting for business? We like to think the world is going to be consistent, and everybody's not out to get you. But still be aware, right? You may not need it, but like I said earlier, it's in your toolbox if you do. And the 100 Black Men members are here to support those young black men, not just now, for years to come.
And then for me, like Andre said, we're always meeting students where they are. And sometimes it is just providing a consistent person that they know is there. So I feel like all these boys are mine. Like I have
You claim all your taxes too.
200 boys are mine. Mm-hmm. But when I see that disconnect, or I see that they haven't grasped like, oh, this is what the program is and this is what it's going to give me, I just make sure I make that connection every single Saturday, every single day, touch point. Because like I want our students to know, I see you. For wherever you are, I'm going to speak to you, I'm going to love you. You can have an attitude all day long. Miss Maxwell is still going to be here being like, I'm happy you're here today. You know what I mean? And that is
that day.
But I think showing up and showing these students that somebody is there to support them consistently, unconditionally, is really important.
Hi, I'm Alicia McKnight, and the question that I have is, in light of the current events and the dismantling of a variety of different programs, how do you see 100 Kings' program evolving over the next 4 to 5 years?
So one of the things that we've been talking about is expanding like job shadowing and internships. We have companies today that are willing to do that for high school students. And so I've started to dip our toe in. We have collegiate chapters. There are almost 100 collegiate chapters across the United States for black men. And actually some of them accept black women as well into the chapters. But we're hosting career fairs for them, giving them access to our corporate sponsors that want to do that. 2 is raising the game on what are the things that our students need. We make some assumptions, and so one of our greatest sponsors and partners is Belmont University. And so one of the things I've been asking since I came into the organization a couple years ago is, are we really making an impact? And are we trying to boil the ocean? Are there things that we really need to focus in on for our youth? And so one of the things that they provided to us is they gave us access to their research department at the doctoral level, and they've taken us on as a project, not just in one semester, but multiple semesters. And what they just completed was research 200 journals, not only across the United States, but across the world, to see what other programs are doing, what tools are they using, what are they measuring, what's happening with students, young black men at different levels of their lives, including when they're growing and in the workforce. And so they're helping us to cull that down, because at the end of the day, for me, what's important is I want to be best in class in helping young black men.
Let's give it up one more time for them. And so I want to thank everybody here and everybody that's watching on YouTube for tuning in to the Slice of the Community with 100 Black Kings. And make sure y'all continue to tune in the next episode, and the next episode, and the next episode, and support. Yes. And so thank y'all.
All right.
All right, before you